Funny how you don't make the screen big. I think it's better when the screen is big. Yeah. Okay.
I can see.
It's 8:45.
It's 8:45. There's some of those Susan's iPad logging in. Good morning.
Morning.
Michigan, it was already renewed for a second season. Hopefully.
Okay, we ready?
We are.
Sue's ready. I'm ready.
Monty Python used to, well, Monty Python, this skit was back a few thousand years ago. They walk in with me, good morning, and then they have another go, good morning, and then another guy, and then the first one would say good morning, and the second would say good morning, and the third one would say good morning. And they all have like different tones, good morning, good morning, good morning. And then again, just a nice way of saying good morning. Welcome to the Funday KOGA. We're gonna get started by coming all the way to the back of our mats. I have to do this to protect my fingertips. I can't out here, but we're gonna do this because it's a nice little exercise we put together for you today. We're gonna bring our feet to the width of the mats, gonna turn our toes in so they angle towards the center line of it. And we're gonna bring some straightness to the legs.
Oh, you're on my.
Oh,
That's so fun.
it feels so good. I'm on your, I'm on the princess now. All right, so let's, as we bring straightness to the leg, I'd like you to try to squeeze or pull them together. And as you do that, I'd like you to kind of pull the belly up and into your kind of body, and then start to elongate the spine. Imagine like you have an imaginary string ready to land. Each breath is kind of like a ratchet, you ratchet to the next level, but you don't recede back to the next. So we're going to try to ratchet up each and every vertebrae of the spine, and then do the same thing with the neck. So to do this today, I'm going to ask you to bring your thumbs on the jawbone and your fingertips on the back of the head, and open your elbows wide, and imagine you're just pulling the head up towards the sky. It's bringing a little bit of extra effort from the arms to help elongate through that neck of ours, and then holding up this effort that we've made and releasing the arms back down. You can feel a little bit of compression in the body. So this is what we work on during our days, is try to avoid the compression, or it's also known as decompressing our vertebral column to reduce some of the wear and tear, pressure it feels to divert it to the muscles of the body. We stand here, I'd like to kind of just get a little bit of perspective on today. Wondering when I'm going to try to stop squeezing your legs together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already wondering that.
Keep it going, a little bit of trembling, if you've got it going on is what we're looking for right now. Presently, I have my hands, palms facing forward. I'm going to spiral my thumbs backwards. Keeping my arms nice and long, I'm going to draw the thumbs backwards. Trying not to bend through the elbows. It's feeling a nice contraction across the back of my shoulders. So I take a deep breath in, I'm going to sweep my arms to the sky to salute the sun. With my hands reaching to the sky now, I'd like you to take your heels and push them away from the center line of the body. So now as we're relieving the tension on those inner thigh muscles and creating an activation and tension on those outer hip muscles. You feel a little bit of engagement there. Let's keep that as we pull halfway forward, letting the arms descend beside the body, keeping the legs locked out while the hips backwards, So you feel predominant weighting in the heels. To continue to push them away from the body, we're going to stand tall. Sweep the hands to the sky. Inhale, exhale, hold halfway forward. And as we pull halfway forward, I'd like you to open the palms to the earth and then spiral the thumbs up to the sky. So it's like a rotation. Corkscrew of the arms per se. Coming up as you inhale. And letting the arms sweep down, back, and rotating as you exhale. And let's do that one more time. Now hold up this time, and I'd like you to take your right hand and sweep it over to the left. And then take your right hip and push it out to the right. And now interlock the fingers and then use the hands to pull the arms long and pull for that nice, feel that nice pull of the side body. Come back up straight, separate the hands, keep the right hand aiming straight up, bring the left hand over, interlock as the hip push left, pull with both hands, the arms long, for a nice left side body stretch here. Come back to center, let's release the hands, let the arms fall all the way down, pull the shoulders directly up, open the palms, bend the elbows. As the elbows bend, I like to pull them backwards and bring the baby fingers onto the hips where they're above your best version. Let's take the elbows and squeeze them together. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let's serve out the tray. The elbows rotate down, forearms meet together, hands push forward. Just like you were looking for $1 million to be put in the hands. Extend it out a little farther. And draw the elbows back. Rotate the palms in the face and pull with the shoulders and elbows backwards. Feel that nice proud chest. Keep the spine stable. I'd like you to keep your belly engaged. Now, serve it out one more time. Rotate the elbows down. Palms reach forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine and the neck. And then pull back, all the way back. Squeeze those elbows together. On your next breath, put your hands to the sky. And then fold halfway forward. Let the arms come beside the body. Palms face the earth. Now, external rotation of the shoulders. I'd like you to take your thumbs and rotate them up to the sky. And then rotate them so that the palms face the earth. And then rotate so the thumbs rotate internally all the way through. So we're kind of corkscrewing the arms in a folded position. Let's open back up, all the way up. And then rotate back down, all the way in. As much range of motion as your shoulders will allow. Let's do this a couple more times. Remember, I like to move with breathing. So as we breathe, we're opening. As we breathe out, we're rotating inward. Now, hold in the down position. Rotate your thumbs to face down at the earth. Pull your shoulders towards the sky. Pull the back of the head towards the sky. And drift your hips backwards until you feel the weighting mostly in the heels. Now, while we hold this back, keep the spine lengthening as best you can. And then now try to squeeze the legs together. Keep the legs squeezing as you rise back to the standing position. And then let everything relax. Shake it out. Nice. Good morning, everybody. Now, sweep the hands to the sky. As we fold forward this time, we're going to walk out to plank. We're going to make a wide base for our plank. So the sides of the hands and the sides of the feet are at the side of our mat. Big, wide stance. We're going to let the chest kind of drop in between the arms. And we're going to take our elbows and we're going to rotate them in to the center line, almost locking up, just taking a slight break in the elbows. Pull the hips up and back to down dog. And then drift back to plank. And just move. It's like an oscillation between the two points. Between plank and our wide base down dog. And let's everyone meet in down dog. Drive the heels to the earth. Now make the arms long, like almost like you're trying to push something away from your body. Let the shoulders kind of drift up towards the ears as you make that strong effort to make the push. And then keep that push as you come back to your plank. When we get to plank, push high under the tippy toes, and then let the chest kind of drop in between the arms. Now, we're going to go back to down dog, but to do so, let's do it in a particular way. Let's start by driving the heels to the earth, pulling your butt to the sky, and letting the chest kind of pull through the arms, and keeping your head in that peripheral orientation, a view, that is, seeing the arms kind of in your side view. Push high into the toes, drive the heels to the earth, and this time keep the heels driving to the earth as you come back into your plank pose. Just a subtle change, different kind of activation and stretch. Now, let the chest grip down between the arms and let the head fall off your body. Just let it go. And now, as you inhale, I'd like you to pull the back of the head high, push high into the tippy toes, and pull butt up and back to down dog. Drive the heels to the earth. And then lower the knees and hover them just above the earth. And pull your hips up and back to down dog. High in the tippy toes. Drive the heels to the earth. Lower the knees to float. And push back up into that down dog. Back up onto those tippy toes. And then walk the feet forward until you can find a nice stable standing position. And we're still full, of course. Now I'd like you to rock forward and back and get an orientation of Wayfarer your feet. Come forward till you feel a lot of pressure in the toes. Drift back till you got the heels, and then find a balance between the two. Step your feet out to the width of the mat. Now, walk your fingers forward as you let your butt drift backwards. Bring your spine to extension. Start to activate those extensors. Let's pull the back of the head to the sky. And let's make the chest proud. And then crowding the chest should create that activation along the spinal column muscles. You should feel a little more active with those muscles. If you've got that, perfect. If you didn't get it, work towards it as best you can. On your next breath, relax everything. Let it just fold in. Hang on a couple seconds. Let's bring our hands back to the earth. Walk the fingers forward. Let your butt drift backwards. Straighten the legs as best you can. We should find a little more opportunity to do so. Keeping the legs nice and straight. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Keeping the legs nice and straight and that back extending. Lift the back of the head to the sky. And keeping all of that activation active as you crowd out the chest. And then on the next breath, let it fold down and just take a break. Take it easy. Now as you inhale, extend. Drift it back. Straighten the legs. Walk the fingers. Extend the spine. Pull the back of the head. Crowd out the chest. Keep the chest proud. Lift the fingertips up and off the earth. Let the hands sweep backwards. Open the palms. The face to the earth. Spiral the thumbs to the sky. Keep that nice external rotation in your shoulders as you unhinge the body. Come back to standing. Sweep the hands to the sky. Nice. Take a big breath in. And just exhale. Bring hands over hearts. Take your right foot, step it forward. Take your left foot, step it back. Separate the feet so you have balance and strength. Now, points of contact. Same as was always is and always will be in that front foot. Straightness to the front leg. Now today we're going to do a little bit differently. We're up on the toes of that back foot, but I'd like you to take the right knee and let it drift forward. As far forward as it can, keeping high on the toes of that back foot. And now I'd like you to pull your butt backwards and then take the right heel and drive it into the earth as you bring straightness to the leg. We're gonna do this a few more times. So knee pushes forward. Butt drifts back. Heel drives to the elevation of the hips. Let's do it one more time. Knee comes forward. Keeping high in the toes of that back foot. Drift the butt backwards, extend that leg. Nice. Keeping on this leg now, extend the hands forward. So, our upper back, I'm gonna bring it into play by simply lifting the arms. And then lowering down, eye level, raising and lowering. Let's do that a few times. Then let's hold with arms eye level. Bring your fingertips together and interlock the fingers. Keeping the arms straight now, we're going to find rotation. Before we rotate though, I'd like you to find balance. Left side to right side in the feet. And while you work to keep that, so we're not spinning off or falling off to the right, we're going to create a rotation of the shoulders towards the right. And then come back center. So let's not try to make this a big rotation by just moving the arms. Let's try to make the rotation by moving the shoulders. Let's do this a few more times. Good. You control the pace. And then when you come back center, palm to palm with the hands, back over heart, stand tall, push your hands to the sky. Oops. So you inhale, keep those arms reaching high. Now, keeping high on the back foot, high on the toes, that is. I'd like you to take your left and right hand, bring them together, and then take your left hand and pull the right hand towards the left side. So we have a nice side body lengthening on the right. Push the arms straight. And then come back center. Bring palm to palm. Bring hands back over heart. Step the back foot forward. Shake out that right leg if you need to. And then when you've done that, step it backwards. Beautiful. So, got hands over heart. We've got that left knee. We're going to start to push it forward, keeping high on the toes of that back foot. Get it as far forward as you can. Try to keep everything square to the plane of movement. Get square, moving forward. Now, draw the butt back. Drive from the heel. Straighten leg. Knee pushes forward. You notice that there is tension to this whole movement. Butt drifts back. Heel drives. Leg straightens. Knee forward. Butt drifts back. Drive that heel. Hold in this spot. Bring the arms forward. Inhale, raise them. Exhale, lower. Shoulder height or higher. Just oscillating, bring it up and down. Getting that little back bars, that strong back, some muscle work now. Nice. Now, hold down, eye level, palm to palm, interlock. Rotate left. Come back center. Keep stable. Work on stability. Work on being stable, keeping all connected. Rotating at your pace. Not the arms, just the shoulders. See, it's not about how far those arms should go. That doesn't really help our spinal column. We want that shoulder rotation. Now, come back center. Hands over heart. Upright the body. Ooh, there goes Sean's balance. Push your hands to the sky. Oops. Worried about my ceiling fan here. Now, take your right and left hand, interlock them, and then use the right to pull the left, pull, lengthening left side, keeping balance, keeping long through the upper body. Take a big inhale, and as you release it, come back center, hands over heart, and step the back foot forward. Nice. Take a big breath in. To exhale, hands push to the sky. As you inhale now, lengthen higher. As you exhale, pull all the way down. Depending on where you are in your mat, into plank pose. Hover low. And then push it back up. And do that 9 more times. It's like Kirsten and I are having a push-up competition. On your 10th repetition, hold the plank pose. Pull your hips up and back to down dog. Let the knees drift down, let them come down upon the earth. When they arrive, step them out to the edge of your mat. Take the tops of your feet, place them on the mat, and then pull your butt back, child's pose. If you're familiar with the expression muscle memory, it's simply a process of imprinting that our brain does to help us remember patterns so that they're more effective or more efficient to do. However, how the process implies itself on bad posture is the same as it does relative to learning how to walk. And what happens is the normal posture of the body, it becomes bad. Feels normal. So you have bad posture carrying along the way. So right now, I'm just doing a few stretches. Really, that these muscles that tend to disable a lot of our problem posture and function. Now let's come up onto the knees. Step your feet out to the width of the knees, or at the sides of the mat also. Tuck your toes under now. And bring a base to your hands underneath your shoulders. Rotate your elbows internally, and then let your chest kind of fall down in between your arms. I'd like you to take your tailbone and the top up at the back of the head and pull them towards the sky. So it's just like a version of cat and cow. Right now, I'm doing that big cow orientation. While you work to keep the back of the head and the tailbone rotating to the sky, I'd like you to take your belly button and try to pull it up and into your spine. And then relax. And then do the same thing. Pull it up and in. And then let it relax. And then pull it up and in. And then let it relax. Now, hold here for a second. And I want you to just do an imaginary cough, like cough. Now that we know what we're kind of looking for in terms of cough, I'd like you to feel what muscles in your belly activate when you cough. Let's do it again. So now we've got a feeling of the cough muscles, if you want to call it that. We're going to do this rotation, tailbone to the sky, back of the head to the sky, and now try to activate those same muscles you just used to cough with, to pull the belly up and into the spine. That's your transverse abdominis. It helps to stabilize that lumbar spine. We're just kind of exercising a little bit. I'm going to do a couple more repetitions here. Let the belly fall, and then pull it back up using those cough muscles as best you can. Let it fall, and then raise it back up. And now we're going to go and reverse this into cow. Pull the center of the spine to the sky. Keep your belly button pointing up and into your spinal column. Let your head drift down towards the earth and tuck your tailbone under. It's just kind of like a pelvic rotation. So we're trying to affect as much of a curvature in the spine as possible. And while we hold on this, focus on the cough muscles again. Pulling up and in, using those muscles. See if you can feel that connection. Mind to muscle. Pulling harder, working it a little more, and then just relaxing everything. And then re-engage, pull the spine to the sky and pull that belly button up and in. And then reverse this out to a neutral spine. Take the gaze of your eyes down at your mat, but look towards the top of the mat. And then while you hold that, I like you to pull the back of the head to the sky. And adding on to this, keep the back of the head pulling skyward as you let the chest drop in between the arms. Now roll the tailbone to the sky. Come up off your knees, so your toes are tucked, come up off your knees, and then straighten the whole spinal column. Imagine base to the top of the head, pulling long, crowd out your chest, pull your hips up and back to down dog, and then step your feet forward so you can find yourself in a folded position. Walk your hands forward, straighten the legs as you grip your butt backwards. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold, unhinges all the way up to standing, sweeping the arms to salute the sun, and then bringing hands over hearts. And then we're going to stand sideways on our mat.
No, I get to face here.
It's face to face. It's mano a womano. Yes. So we're going to bring nice distance, much separation as you feel comfortable. In fact, the wider that you go, the better. But don't do the splits. So, keeping as much weight as possible. This is more for our inner thighs. It's a great opportunity now to kind of lengthen out those muscles, or sorry, not even lengthen, strengthen those muscles. We're going to use them now by trying to take the legs and pulling them to the center. So as we create that inner thigh activation, I'd like you to pull your butt backwards and then try to lift back the body so you can feel the heel mostly weighted. So the orientation of weight back of the foot. Squeeze the legs, fold, 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 halfway down. Keep the legs squeezing. Now, extend the spine, crowd out your chest, and come back up slowly, squeezing the legs all the while. Are we getting some trembling there? Yes. Let's do it again. I'm getting it because my legs are going crazy right now. If you're not getting trembling, that's fine. All you can do is ask yourself to try harder, but if it's not there, it's not there. Now I'm coming back up to standing. I'm extending the arms out. I'm pulling my butt back, and I'm going to fold down and keep my arms reaching away from the body. So I have a nice extension to the spine. I'm going to walk the fingers forward as I pull my butt back. I'm going to take a push now. Sorry, pull to a push. I'm going to push the heels away. Pull the spine as I inhale. I'm going to walk the fingers forward a little more and pull the hips back a little more. But I'm going to keep my heels pushing away from the center line of the body. I'm going to take my left hand and start walking it to the left. So it's just on a straight line, walked out. Do the same thing with the right. So now I've got a big, wide base feet and my fingers. Extend the spine as I inhale. Keep the spine extending. Let's start left side. Let's take the left hand off the floor, just a bit off an inch. Same thing, alternate to the right. Keep those heels pushing away from the center line of the body. Alternate left and right. Keep those nice engaged legs active as you grip the back of the hips even more. As you get more blood flow to those muscles, you can expand some of the work there. Keep that butt drifting back. Now, hold down, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, and try to tabletop the back. If it wasn't present, just try to get there now. Keep the back and tabletop, and grow the neck. I'm going to start right side this time. Take the right arm, sweep it out the side of the body. Often what happens in this exercise is people like to build the muscles that are memorized by the brain for movement and stabilization, which are the anterior or front muscles. Today, I'd like you to focus posterior on the back muscles. Pull the butt back, keep the legs straight, keep the heels pushing away from the center line. Now take the right shoulder and open it to the sky. And then bring the right arm down. Left side, sweep side. Holding it up, making sure we got that push. Center line. Extension to the spine. And now the left shoulder to the sky. And then lower, and then alternate side to side. It's your pace. You can go fast, you can go slow. Just go, right? Just go. Do it. Do it. Again, what is going to take over is the memory of muscles that feel like they should be doing the work right now through your front muscles. I want you to keep continuously focusing on drifting the hips backwards, keeping the legs straight, keeping an external push of the heels, and then do a few more reps. And then when you're ready, both hands down, step down, the hands on your hips. As you inhale, I'd like to all the way up to the standing position. Legs still wide open. Good morning. You still have that external push from the midline out of the heels. Take a big breath in. Now take your elbows and grip them back. Nice crowd through the chest. Let the chin drop down. And then we'll rotate it, head back up. And we're going to crane the neck. This is what happens when we compress the neck. We lift the chin, and you can feel that neck like it's all miserable, right? That's what craning compression feels like. So let's lower the chin so that it runs parallel underneath. You know, as I age, that parallel is slowly going away. And I'm going to squeeze the elbows, keep that chest round. And then I'm going to take my spine that I made nice and long. And fold it halfway forward with my elbows squeezing together as I come down. And then come back up. Hold up. Take the right hand, sweep it to the sky. Now bring it straight up and reach it high. Reach it high, 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 straight up. And then pull it down. Switch to the left side. I'm driving up, creating nice tape. The left body. Imagine that $1 million just above your fingertips, and you can just get there, and then come back down. Nice. Now bring your hands over hearts. Step your feet in. I'm going to turn to face the camera again because I missed you so much. And I'm going to bring my feet to the width of the mat. Toes are going to aim straight forward. Now, fold halfway forward. We're tabletopping the back. We're going to grow the spine. Now, I'd like you to take your hands, open the palms, bring the elbows to the sky. So put bend in the elbows are higher than the hands, and bring the baby fingers onto the side of your body. And while we remain folded, I'd like you to squeeze those elbows together. And then come up to standing. Nice. Bring the hands back over hearts. Squat it down. Extend the arms out. Raise the arms. Bring hands back over heart. Stand back up. So this is a little vinyasa, a little flow. Squat. Extend. Raise. Hands heart. Stand back up. Continue at your own pace. It's apart?
No. Screwed up.
Now, we're going to add on to our little vinyasa, squatting hands apart, arms extending out, arms reaching up. Now, before we raise up, I'd like you to push the heels from the center line of the body, bring hands back over heart, keep the heels pushing outward as you stand, come back down, extend out, raise them, hands over heart, heels push out, come back up to stand. Got it? Now, down, forget about the heels, arms, extend, raise, hands hard, push the heels away as you rise back up. Relax the heel push, Squat it down, arms out, arms up, hands heart, heels push out, stand back tall, great job, hands push to the sky. Big breath in, exhale, fold it, come all the way down, have a seat. Oh. And grab some water, mouth is getting dry. Yes, sirree. A lot of work for our upper body today, in the back, and our spinal column. Got a lot of work going on. Nice in the hips. I've got my feet. It's hot in here. That's why I said heat. Feet separated, hip width apart. I'm gonna bring flexion. I'm gonna flex my feet. Hands are on my kneecaps. I'm gonna create a rounding through the back. And I'm gonna use this to help pull, rotate down, and pull the knees along, vertebrae by vertebrae. So my back and the back of my head have a boundness place on the mat. I'm gonna take the legs, push into the sky. And then I'm gonna take my tailbone and roll it up off the earth. So it's almost like I'm pushing with the heels to get my tailbone up off the earth. It's like a crunch before it starts.
It's not swing.
Yeah, this is not a momentum type thing. This is a muscle engagement thing. So I'm gonna relax the tailbone back down. So the pelvis has to rotate a little bit. So you're gonna feel like the legs move forward and back. That's perfectly normal. It's gonna happen anyways. So I'd like you to push the heels to the sky and then pelvically rotate so you can pull your tailbone up off the earth. That rotation is the activation of some of your muscles in the front of your body. And in particular, the rectus abdominis. We're going to get that muscle. Now we're going to relax down, let the tailbone rotate back down. And then we're going to do the same thing all over again, working that little six-pack or big six-pack muscle. And then relaxing down. I'm going to do a few more repetitions. This is a subtle thing. It's sometimes hard to connect to. But really, how the best connect to it is by pelvic tilting. So tilting forward and back. This is really kind of tilting up. Almost like you're taking your pubis area and pulling it up towards the chin. And then relaxing down. And it's very small. It's almost minute if you will. Like vocabulary. All right, now we're going to hold down. We're going to bring both legs down onto the earth, feet landing just below the butt, but hip width apart. All right, so we're going to take our right leg and extend it all the way up. You're going to take your left arm, you're going to reach it all the way back. So this is like a modified bird dog. So we have a lot of stability here. And this is always a good place to start relative to overall kinetic chain lengthening. So that's a big word, a big phrase, but long story short, from the heel of the foot, I'd like you to push away. And then from the fingertips of the left side, I'd like you to pull away and feel the length through and over the body. In particular, you might feel your hip flexors getting a nice little release. Sometimes up and into the obliques, the side body muscles on that right side. Keep reaching in both directions. And then let's turn back, let's reset it and set up the opposite side. So we set up the opposite side. Left heel drives forward, right arm reaches back. So the heel is driving one direction, and the fingertips are pulling the opposite. On my body, I feel a little differently on one side versus the other, and that's perfectly normal. Let's reach long. And then bring both back to the starting point. I'm going to extend the leg. Right leg, sorry, out. And then we're going to take the right leg. We're going to put a little bend in the knee, just a little bit. So it's a relatively obtuse angle. Almost the same kind of angle when we do this other exercise. I'm going to ask you to kind of use the ball of the big toe and the heel of that right foot is kind of like a hinge. I'm going to ask you now to take your left leg and put the heel or ankle, just above the right knee. And then we're going to use that left side to pull the right knee down, hinging on the ball and the heel of that right foot. You should feel a nice stretch coming over that right side. If you got that going on, continue to use your left to help push and activate length along the right side. And now I'm going to use the reverse here. I'm going to ask you to keep resistance from that left leg and use the right leg and rotate back up. So that you come back onto the heel of the foot. And then we're going to pull back down, hinging on the ball of the big toe and the heel, pulling with resistance, of course, as low as you can get. And then rotating back up slowly with resistance, of course. And then when you arrive back to the square position, let's take the opposite leg and extend it out, putting that right on top of left, and then using the same procedure. Pull, you're really kind of pushing with that right leg, the left leg down, you're resisting the push with the left, of course. Push back up. Pull back down. Resistance all the way back up. And extending both legs straight out, Pilates style, with back up. Gonna bring the hands over chest, dropping the chin, vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling up that spine of yours, and then diving the hands down for a nice release. This is such a great posterior chain rise. It's mostly for people, oh, it just really makes my lower back feel good. I'm sure part of all of what I feel. But gluteals and the hamstrings, again, a nice benefit from doing this also. All right, as we come back up, we're going to go to 99. And take, here's loving this one. Left leg's going to start forward with a 90-degree bend in the knee. I'm going to just roll onto my left cheek to bring my right leg over so I can put it down. Now, sometimes for bone on hard surfaces, towels are always welcome to help cushion. Plug back in here. I'm going to take a little look at my spinal column here, and I'm going to try to keep as much straight into the spinal column. So it's basically doing the leaning tower of Pisa thing. So as we do that, I'm going to ask you now to take your right hand, reach it forward. So it's just coming right over the left knee, and I'm just going to walk forward the hand. So my right shoulder is kind of rotating down onto my left knee. And this is all over, right? Hope you're feeling it. Like the left hip, right in your thigh. So lengthening to that right side body, so walk my fingers forward over more, lengthen out, keep that arm straight, and actually pull the full muscle chain along the right side bottom. And using my left hand to support the opposite side, the palms are around, so just not falling into the earth. And you're gonna walk back, and then I'm going to switch off sides. I like my transition. All right, so I'm going to get my leaning tower of Pisa, which basically means my left shoulder, right knee have an alignment as I start to walk my hand forward. I'm going to rotate down. A couple of breaths. It's a nice thing to do something nice for your body. Better we function, better we function.
That's just well-being. So it's a good opportunity to make some time to do something nice for us. Have a modeling atmosphere for others. Just walk it back up. Have a philosophical conversation, right? Let's sweep my legs around, face you. Bring my hands over heart to thank you for joining me today and us today. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, Funday. Namaste.
No.